device.
Welcome to High Now Daily and happy Monday. And for all you Star Wars fans, May the 4th be with you. Of course, it's May 4th. We're getting right into May and we're moving right along. We've got a lot of things going on today's show. But first up, we're kicking it off here in the High Now studio. The state's Military and Community Relations Office is a bridge between Hawaii's communities and the military. MACRO helps bring groups together for meaningful conversations about shared spaces, priorities, and opportunities. While MACRO isn't part of today's interview, they've helped make this important dialogue possible. Today, we're talking about the Hawaii Air National Guard, how they serve both state and federal missions, provide rapid response during emergencies, support disaster relief efforts, and maintain readiness to defend the nation. As part of Hawaii's community, the Guard plays a vital role in protecting lives, property, and critical infrastructure across the islands. And joining us today is Colonel Regina Komine, Acting Director, Joint Staff, Hawaii National Guard. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Let's start off, for those who may not know, the role that the Hawaii Air National Guard plays here in our community.
So the Hawaii Air National Guard really has two roles. One is a federal role, and the other is the state, which they support the state and really the state, the counties in natural disasters. The federal role for the Hawaii Air National Guard is extremely busy. There's a lot of operations happening on a daily basis. So they're in the federal role, they're providing airlift capabilities, air refueling capabilities, air defense, and they also provide air defense to the state of Hawaii. So we have a lot of local kids that are doing great things, supporting and defending not just the state of Hawaii, but the nation as well.
Wow, and you know, with recent Konalo storms, I'm sure you guys jumped right in when the time came that we all needed the help. Can you talk a little bit about what the National Guard was able to do?
Sure. So I am in a unique role right now. I'm a Hawaii Air National Guard member, but I'm supporting the Hawaii National Guard Joint Staff. So we're working with airmen and soldiers from the Air Guard and Army Guard. And when we activate, we normally activate as a joint force with Air and Army. And so we did that during the Konalo. Because the Air Guard has such a large federal presence or operations, the Army Guard does pick up a bulk of the positions to support domestic response, but we have a lot of unique capabilities in the Air Guard to support. But during Konalos, we provided a lot of debris clearance support, clean water. In fact, we're still doing clean water missions out in Wailua, but it's extremely rewarding to be able to do the state mission. We know the federal mission is important. We know that when we sign up, that's what we're going to do. But there's something to be said about being able to support our own communities, because most of us grew up here, are from here, went to school here. And so I think that our state mission makes our jobs very special.
Absolutely, that sense of pride, growing up here in Hawaii and be able to support the community around us, right? Yeah. Now let's talk about outside of the emergency response. When things happen, you folks jump right in, but you guys are doing things in the community on the day-to-day. How are you folks doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. On a daily basis, there's a lot of planning that goes into being ready. And so Major General Logan, our Adjutant General, he really puts an emphasis on us anticipating what types of requirements the state or counties may need from us. And then we do it a lot of work it's a lot of work for us, but we got to get out there, get out into the community, make sure we know the community, and then really establish the relationships. We have to know the people that are working in the county emergency operations centers. We can't show up the first time during an emergency and be introducing ourselves. So one of the things we pride ourselves on is really getting out there, knowing the people, and building the relationships beforehand. I think that's what's most important.
Absolutely, and I know that you folks are in the communities, going to schools, talking to other organizations. So mahalo to you folks and all the work that you're continuing to do. And you know, for those who are listening in, they may be thinking this could be a career path for them. Can you talk about the skills when serving and some of those career paths for those who are in the military?
I sure can. A lot of my friends' kids are graduating high school, so I've been giving this, having this talk to many of them. But really, the National Guard is a great way to be able to serve while still staying in Hawaii. And there are a lot of jobs that translate very well into the civilian sector. So, you know, we have intelligence analysts, we have civil engineers. In our civil engineering squadron, there are HVAC technicians, so they learn how to do HVAC type of work, and we also have vehicle mechanics, so kids can go off to school, learn how to be vehicle mechanics. But we have, I mean, pretty much anything, you name it, we've got it. HR professionals doing human resource type work, and all those jobs, you get paid to learn them, and then when you come home, we pay you to maintain those skills, and then you can go and apply for jobs and have job experience already. So I think that's really a great benefit to joining the Guard.
Yeah, well, I was curious now, how did you get into the Guard? Grew up here in Hawaii, Roosevelt grad. How did you find yourself in your role?
Well, so I graduated from Roosevelt, went to UH Manoa, and when I was graduating from UH, it seemed like everybody had a plan but me, and so I was talking to someone, a friend, and they recommended, hey, while you're waiting to figure out what you want to do, join the Guard. You can learn a skill and then come back, and it buys you time while you figure it out. So yeah, my plan was to do it temporarily, and then 26 years later, here I am, still,
Look at that.
still serving. But I will say the #1 thing that's kept me in is the people. I think in the Hawaii Air National Guard, we become like family, and even with our Hawaii Army Guard partners, and it just, and serving our community, it just keeps you wanting to stay.
Yeah, I wanted to ask too, seeing more females in leadership roles, can you talk about that representation rate there and you being one of these leaders?
Sure, I think for not just women, but really for everybody, the key to progression and continue to keep and uplift people is having great supervisors and mentors. And I've been very fortunate. All of my, almost all of the leaders that I've worked for have been very supportive in helping me to find not just what I'm good at, but also how to be better at things that I never thought I would do. So yeah, I think really we've just had really good leaders in the Hawaii Air National Guard, and even on the Hawaii Army Guard side, same. I think people stay because of the people, and good leaders help to shape that.
Amazing. And last question for you is talking about, just being here in Hawaii. You guys are always ready. Whether it is an emergency that comes along, you have to be prepared, be ready for anything before, during, and well after anything arises. How do you guys remain ready? And what would you like the public to know about the work that you folks do?
So I think readiness there's a lot of aspects to readiness. When we look at readiness on the federal side, it's very clear on how we can achieve those goals to be ready. On the state side, it's much more difficult because, it just depends on what the event is, if it's a flood, a hurricane. And so we do a lot of preparations for those things. But I think what's really important for Hawaii Guardsmen is to look at how can we be ready. How do we ready our families so when we do get the call to go, we can go without worrying about our families, and then just in general, having good mental health practices and doing what we need to ready ourselves and our families. And then if there's any message I would want to give to folks, and I've always wanted to do this, and it's to thank two groups of people. One is our families, because we would not be able to do the jobs that we do without our families, because they really are the ones that pick up when we're out doing mission, whether that's federal or state mission. And then the second is our employers, because Hawaii Guardsmen are your teachers, your engineers, your firemen, policemen, all out in the community. And without the employer support, we couldn't do the job that we do.
Wow. So. Incredible. Well, mahalo, mahalo, mahalo to our families, to, of course, all of our community, everybody stepping in when we have that need, right? So thank you for sitting down with me today. We're going to have all the information on HiNowDaily.com about macro, about Hawaii Air National Guard. So please check out our website. Thank you so much for being here and for serving as well.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more on Hi Now Daily.